Chapter 7, Right Triangle Trigonometry. Lesson 7.2. Use the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Well, the converse switches it around. Pythagorean theorem was if you have a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So the converse is if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is the longest side, then you have a right triangle. So we could use that to determine whether a triangle is a right triangle given the lengths of the sides. So, do these side lengths make a right triangle? Well, the first thing to check is what is the longest side. 4 squared root of 3 is about 6.93. So, the longest side is 8, so that must be C. So, plug it into the Pythagorean theorem, make sure the longest side is C. Four squared is 16. All right, when we're squaring these, the 4 squared is 16, and the square root of 3 squared is 3. (16 times 3 is 48. And 16 plus 48 is 64. So notice we have both sides of the equation are exactly the same. They're both 64. Hey, that's great. That is definitely true. So is it a right triangle? Yes. It is a right triangle. What's more interesting is that if C is the longest side and that longest side is too short, you get an acute triangle. Or if the longest side is too big, it's an obtuse triangle. So you can figure out what type of triangle you have. So if our segment lengths are 3, 4, and 6, we need to first of all show they can form a triangle. If you remember that, we need to use the triangle inequality, which said the too short has to be bigger than the longest to make a triangle. So our too short are 3 and the 4. Is that bigger than 6? Yes, 7 is greater than 6. So it makes a triangle. Now, is that triangle acute, right, or obtuse? Well, if we compare the c squared with the a squared plus b squared, remember c has to be the longest, so c is the 6, and the a could be 3, and the b could be the 4. So it's 36, 9, and 16. 9 and 16 make 25. So now we can fill this in. The 36 is greater than the 25, so the c squared is bigger than the a squared plus b squared, which makes it an obtuse triangle. And that's all we're learning for today. Have a wonderful day.